And I want to share this verse with you today because I believe it's a key for your destiny. It's a key for your success in life. Isaiah 49:1, the Lord has called me from the womb, from the matrix of my mother. You didn't know that you actually were born in the matrix. It's in the Bible. From the matrix of my mother, He has made mention of my name. I love that it says He made mention of my name because it means He knew me personally, specifically. He knew your name, and He spoke your name even before you were born. In the womb. And in fact, the New Testament says before the foundation of the world, He knew you and He called you by name. Now, some people think when God calls us, it's only a calling for ministry. But in fact, He calls us into business. He calls us into families. He calls us into various kinds of ministry, not just being a pastor, but any way that we can influence people in the business world, the political world, the music, and all kinds of ways that God calls us, every one of us. He even calls us by name. And I began to realize that going through battles and going through these circumstances was not for me to doubt who I was, but to remember what God had called me to. And that I would not succeed in life because I was so talented, but I would succeed because God had called me. And in the midst of that, I realized my job is to be the person God created me to be. To be the kind of individual, to have the integrity and have the commitment and have the faithfulness and have the honesty and have the Christian fiber, the Christian morality, the Christian commitments that God had called me to. And that no matter what came against me, if He was for me, it would not be successful against me. And now I kind of have the attitude that the giants and the lawsuits and the economics and the politics and all those things that may seem to be the enemy, they're simply the breakfast of champions. They're simply food to make us stronger and to bring about the purposes of God. If God can be for us, are you with me? If God can be for us, who can be against us? Well, your challenge is to be you, to be who God designed you to be the person that God created you to be. Because what can happen is we start letting the world change us. We start letting the problems and the difficulties affect us, and we get broken. We get angry, we get defensive, and we get insecure. And then all kinds of problems begin to arise in our life, in our marriage, in our health, in various areas. So you have to be you no matter what you're going through. You have to be the God you. The creation of God, you. I love the Message Bible in John chapter 1 and verse 12. It said, if you want Him, He'll make you a child of God, a real you, the child of God you. Be you. Be the child of God. Don't be the angry you. Don't be the inferior you. Don't be the insecure you. Don't be the you on a bad day. Be you on a good day. Which you are you being day to day? I had to decide. I wasn't going to be a mean, critical, angry preacher. I wasn't going to be a hurt, defensive, doubtful preacher. I was going to be the one that God called. The one that God created. I was going to be the person that God designed me to be. What do you look like when you are right where God wants you? When you are living the life God called? Well, how do you act? What's your personality? What's your spirit? What's your worship like? How do you treat your spouse? How do you relate to people around you? Be that person. Be you. Not the hurt, not the angry, not the scared, not the inferior. The you that God designed you to be. Are you with me this morning? Come on, if you're hearing this, give the Lord a hand clap right now, would you? Are you hearing it?